Don't worry, little brother. He's after you.
You have the glow of a wanderer. Wanderers can be kind, or they can be cruel. Which are you?
Rogue Lords is a turn-based roguelike in which you play as the devil, who is bent on reconquering the world of humans years after a heavy defeat at the hands of the demon hunters. Weakened, you must build up your power by acquiring a set of legendary artifacts and calling on 9 famous evil geniuses who have signed a pact with you. You are the devil, and the devil never plays by the rules. Cheating is a core aspect of the gameplay, and during runs, you can choose to sacrifice some of your health to manipulate the game interface. Nothing will stop you, and certainly not the rules imposed on mortals. You face one or more waves of enemies in each fight. Fighters use and combine their skills to deal 2 types of damage, which will deplete 2 separate health bars, a physical one and a spiritual one. When a bar of one of your disciples is fully depleted, the disciple can still fight, but is vulnerable. However, they cannot die until you have achieved your goal. Every time they are attacked, you will automatically sacrifice your diabolic essence to protect them. To avoid getting into this situation, you can manually sacrifice essence points beforehand to directly manipulate the health bars of your disciples and your enemies, to better withstand certain attacks or to finish off an enemy before a devastating strike. You can also steal buffs or return debuffs to those who inflicted them to create powerful combos or suppress your opponent's tactics. You can also recharge your skills without spending action points to gain the upper hand in key moments or to escape tricky situations. You are therefore very powerful in combat, which will prove to be crucial and decisive in major battles. But you will need to use your powers at the right time, because fully depleting your essence will end your run. During interactive events, you choose the best way to give mortals excellent reasons to fear you. Your chances of success vary according to the actions, their difficulty, and your disciples' skills. But in Devil mode, you can tip the balance in your favor to obtain your desired result. They say that the devil is in the details, and a few % can make all the difference. So don't be shy to use your powers to sow terror, if you're willing to pay the price. The map is randomly generated at the start of each run. You implement your strategy and choose your own path based on the events you want to trigger. Using your powers, you can take detours by opening up portals between 2 locations that weren't previously connected. This can be used to reach Styx fountains more easily, which you use to replenish your essence, a resource you need for using your powers and staving off defeat. Defeat is an interesting concept for mortals. For you, it's meaningless. You are the devil. Nothing and no one can resist your will, and certainly not destiny. If things don't go as planned, you'll start again, as many times as needed to achieve your goal. We can't wait for you to explore your devilish side in Rogue Lords, and we have much more to share with you. Follow us on social media, and stay tuned.
Many moons ago, mortals rose up against me and chased me down. They were led by demon hunters, wretched beings incapable of seeing the beauty of a corrupted world. My creatures and demons gave everything they had in the fight, but it was not enough. I was forced to leave the world of the living. Weakened, I returned to hell to survive. For years I consumed fresh souls to regain my power, but their numbers are fast diminishing. I cannot wait anymore. I must reclaim my rightful place. It is time to gather my forces once more. Those who signed a pact with me will do as I order. They will spread terror and corruption in my name. The time has come for my revenge.
We are using photogrammetry to capture the beauty of Africa. In this process, we take hundreds of photographs of a scene or object, and then, using specialized software, we generate 3D models and textures from the photos themselves. Every screen in Beautiful Desolation has a real piece of Africa in it. Most often, due to changing winds and ocean tides, it's something that will only ever exist in our game. Classic science fiction films still hold up today because of their extensive use of real locations and miniatures. With Beautiful Desolation, we want to capture the feeling of true science fiction through the use of intricately painted miniatures, also captured with photogrammetry. A post-apocalyptic world gives us many incredible opportunities to work with scale models. We can explore a decrepit battleship, hells of long-abandoned cargo planes, and urban graveyards of rusted cars. All the elements we so love about the post-apocalyptic genre.
Hi everyone, my name's Sadie and I'm the community developer here at Untold Tales. I get the awesome job of helping out on Beautiful Desolation, a game made by two South African lads, known as the Brotherhood. We wanted to put together a playthrough to show you how the game runs on PlayStation 4 and also to give you an idea of what the game's about. At its weird little heart, Beautiful Desolation is a story-driven sci-fi adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic, distant future South Africa. When an unknown but seemingly dormant alien technology appears above the shores of Cape Town, its immense power advances civilization on all frontiers. Then, for reasons you'll find out in the story, your character gets flung into a distant future where this untamed technology has basically led to a total collapse of modern civilization, a mutated evolution of the planet, and a total reshaping of humanity. It's also important to us that players understand what the game is, as well as what it isn't. This is not some RPG with crazy character customization, item stats galore, loot hunting, or constant combat. Rather, the core of the gameplay is more about exploring the twisted sci-fi African setting, meeting bizarre characters,
Greetings, traveller!
making story-defining dialogue choices, and maybe solving a few puzzles along the way. Also, you can find some optional combat along the way, as well as some mini-games. Now let's dive into part of the main quest. Okay, so we're around 15% of the way into the game here, and we've just been told that inside this abbey, we need to speak to someone named Grave. He resides in an area called the Kettle, which is a walled-off sanctuary for those who wish to escape from the Priests of Tribulation. Who, by the way, are a blood-hungry religious cult made of sentient robots and augmented corpses. Yeah, lovely. So let's start by travelling to the Kettle, shall we? Just like the real South Africa, there are multiple diverse biomes in this world, and in order to travel around them, we'll be using this trusty old boy. A derelict troop transporter that we salvaged at the start of the game. As for jumping between the biomes, we need to use these portals, which are called wardens in the world. So the cutscene you see here is something the team added throughout the game to bring you closer to the world. Let's go and see if they'll let us into the kettle.
Hello? I'm here to speak to Grave. Is there someone else I can talk to, maybe?
Chatty little fellow, but not exactly helpful, right? Okay, let's try somewhere else. Well, we don't seem to have access to this door yet, so let's get back to it later.
Another weary pilgrim stops at Caesar's place of healing.
I don't need healing, but I need answers.
Caesar is a servant of the Dullahan, bound to help all in need. Ask away, my friend. Caesar will try to answer.
I don't have time for servants of some crazy religion. I just need straightforward answers.
Caesar is bound to answer those who ask, even heretics like you, who spit on creation. You fleshy beings will be nothing but dust in the end.
Enough of this cuck. Tell me how to get past the gates. Think of it as a test.
You do not test a follower of the Dullahan. Entrance to the city requires a password, which only friends and the blood of friends may possess.
Finally, something useful. So a relative of someone living inside the walls will know the password.
Yes.
You obviously can't help me anymore. I'll be seeing you around.
And there it is, 8451. This creepy machine here scans for traces of DNA and dispenses synthesized blood to match. And wouldn't you know, we just happened to have picked something up earlier that will let us do just that. The puzzle this blood bag is needed for actually comes up much later in the game, and this is only one of 2 ways that you can solve the puzzle. Okay, so we know how to get into the kettle. Well, sort of. Earlier in the game, the character who gave us info about the kettle also mentioned he had a brother living inside it. So let's go and speak to him.
Molo Umhambe. Greetings, traveller. You have found your brother. It is time to celebrate. I hope that our last meeting provided some light to guide you on your way.
Watch out for those rattling bones, Brew. A bit of you just fell into that O's drink.
I hope your brother has the manners you clearly lack, traveller.
You spoke about a brother who lives in the kettle.
Yeah. Mbombe. My dear sweet brother. Have you heard word from him?
Yes, I have. I heard that he needs help. He's in debt, enslaved. He needs gold.
I'm not surprised by this news, but I am saddened. I received a letter from him years ago, asking me to come to him and free him from grave. He was there because of me, because I told him to come and serve Nevra horses as I did. And when he rejected the stripped skin and metal bones that she bestowed unto him, she sold him to grave as penance.
Did he mention a password? Get into the kettle?
No password. But he told me to get into the kettle I would have to blacken the name of Nevra horses. Grave worships Varia, the warrior who protects us from the dead. He wears a covering made of skin and has the head of the ram. If you give praise to Varia and blaspheme against the name of Nevra horses, you will be granted entrance to the kettle. Now, go, my friend. I must cleanse my mind and voice of these things.
So this should hopefully be enough now to get us through the gate. Let's head back. Actually, if you're wondering who or what the hell Bra Bones even is, as we mentioned earlier, the characters in Beautiful Desolation run quite the gamut of weird and twisted. There are religious zealot mechs, humans willingly stripped of their flesh for immortality, transhumanistic tribes warring for power, and ruthless alien-like hunter mercenaries, just to name a few.
I have the password. I'm here because Nevra Horses is a right asshole. Varia is clearly the superior god.
Alright, and we're in! Welcome to the kettle. So that is just a small glimpse into the world of Beautiful Desolation. Something we truly love about the game is that the devs set about creating a game that really portrays a rich and vibrant Africa, one that we just don't get to see often in other games. What's more, every character is fully voiced by an authentic cast of African voice actors. Each level has some piece of actual African scenery or objects scanned in using photogrammetry, which is a kind of photo scanning technique that lets you take pictures of real-world items and put them in a game. And that experimental African sci-fi fusion soundtrack you've been hearing in the background? Well, it's written by Mick Gordon, as in the master behind the modern Doom soundtracks. Cool, right? So if you enjoy unique sci-fi worlds, story-driven games, or just want something a little different, then maybe give this a shot. The game launches on PlayStation 4 on May the 28th, so just around the corner now. Thanks for taking this little trip to Africa with me, guys, and we'll see you all soon. Bye!
Gamezplay.org